Right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year to all of you. First day of the year. We should all be excited. Um, Hopefully we can get a lot accomplished tonight because I know that this is the beginning of the year and we are just immune to setting goals. That's just something that we do. We set goals and we have good intentions on doing very well starting off, but sometimes there's something life just starts lifing and it kind of throws us off. I think my partner, are you there, Jay?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, okay, cool. Okay, let me fix my screen and I'm gonna jump on in. You may want to go to another room or something because I can hear myself a lot of feedback. And just let me know if you hear me clear. If you can unmute, just let me know if you can hear me very clear and if you can see me.
I can
I
see you. I
can.
can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right. Let me says what? Okay, cool. That's cool. All right. Yay! Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight on this Zoom. First, I want to just introduce myself to any newbies that are on here that may not know me. I am Karen Michelle with Loyalty Royalty Recovery. My husband and I, he's on here and he's not showing face, but that's all good. We've been doing this business for about 7+ years, the surplus funds business, and we have taken the longest break ever. We have been in the past consistent with doing our videos and our Zooms and jumping on YouTube and putting up new content. But y'all, life has been lifing for me. I'm not going to speak for my other half, but life has been lifing for me. And the big question for tonight, and I'm going to share my personal testimony, and I know Jay and I, we're going to talk a little bit. Where have you been on your journey? And my personal journey with the surplus funds business is when we started, I came in strong. I was excited about it. I was learning so much information from other people that were doing the business. And my husband and I, we never purchased a course or anything. We just kind of dived in and just kind of did a lot of the lead work of just learning, just from the ground up on how to build this business. And as we, continue to learn, we got burned a couple of times by lawyers that may have ran off and never paid us, but they paid the claimant, but we didn't get paid in the deal. There's been a lot. You're gonna have your ups and downs with this business, but we have experienced a lot of hiccups, I would say, starting off with this business. So pressing on, moving forward, we get our first deal, maybe 3 years. Stop me, Jay, if I'm wrong. Maybe 2 or 3 years into the business, we finally landed our first deal. And we will never forget that. We talk about it all the time. I believe that was our first five-figure payout. And this was a case in our own backyard. So for some of you that may not know where we are located, we're in Texas, and this was a Dallas County case. And so I don't know if Jay wants to jump in a little bit and talk about that, but I'll let him do that in a moment. But once when we closed our first deal, it just seemed like things just kind of started rolling, like the ball was finally rolling. All the information we've obtained, everything, just listening to other people and just, doing our research and just trying to figure things out, things started getting easier because now here comes another deal and another deal. And then by the time we look up, we've been doing this business for 5 years. Now we're bringing on mentors. Now we're bringing on business partners, people to help us close these deals out. Because, we may not have attorneys in all 50 states, but I may know someone that knows an attorney in one of the states that I need to close out in. So that is the benefits of this business, is linking up with other people that are doing the business. Because if you come across, a situation where you're just like, I need help. I need mentorship. I need someone to talk to. Oh my gosh, I need a question answered. How many of y'all, and you can throw something in the chat, how many of y'all have someone that you can just pick up the phone and call? Is there do you have a coach or a mentor, anyone that you can just pick up the phone if you're stuck between a rock and a hard place? Is there anyone that you can just pick up the phone, call them, and ask a question? So I'm going to check the chat in a little bit and see, because that was us. When starting off, we didn't have anybody to call. Anybody. And I think my screen froze. We didn't have anyone to call. And that was the hardest thing. We had to figure it out. So what we did was, when we started teaching the surplus funds business, we wanted to give something that we didn't have. And that was mentorship. A personal coach, someone that we can get on the phone with right away, if not right away, within a few minutes, a couple of hours, to answer whatever questions it is that we needed to ask. So with all that being said, where are you on your journey? That is the question for tonight. So I asked this question because learning, sometimes we have to learn how not to quit. And we're almost at that finish line. Like, we're like just right there, about to cross that finish line, and we quit. And a lot of people have jumped into this business and they jumped out. They jump back in and they jump out, and they're not giving themselves a chance. So Jay, I'm going to have you unmute, and I want us to kind of talk a little bit about that, of learning something new, diving in and giving yourself the opportunity to learn the information so you can really take over in this business. So can you go ahead and unmute so we can talk a little bit about that?
I'm still. I got some technical issues. Give me about 5 more minutes.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna share my story really quick for y'all. I quit, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I quit. I did. Left my husband in the dark, alone, by himself, because I wanted to go and venture out and do some other things. Before the surplus business, I was doing other things. I have a women's empowerment organization that I do a gala every year. I was doing other things, the fashion industry. I was just doing a lot of things. I was doing my cooking thing, where I was writing my own cookbook, and so I had a lot going on. But this time, I walked away, and my husband would ask me almost every day, "When are you going to come back? When are you going to come back? I need your help." And I was like, well, I don't know. I really want to find my own way. I really want to do what I want to do, not right now, and that was hard because it was just him working in the office every day, making calls to claimants. And I was, in my mind, I'm like, well, you got VAs now. You don't really need me. Like, have the VAs call. You don't really need me. But, we'll talk about that later, because that right there, you have to grow into that part of the business of having VAs make phone calls for you. So I'm like, I'll get back to it, and I would jump in a little bit, for a day or two. And then I'm like, and I'll go back to doing what I was doing. And I wasn't really focused. And what I had to realize, I had to fall flat on my face to realize that the surplus funds business was my meat and potatoes. That was going to fund all the little projects that I wanted to do, from writing books to putting on this event and doing this and that. That was going to fund it. So I finally snapped out of it. I think maybe 2 years. I allowed 2 years to go by without helping my husband with the business. And y'all, I dove back in. I can't even remember. Was it November? Okay, he's not. I don't even know if he's on the call or not. I jumped back in probably in November, the end of November, maybe early December. No, it was early December. It was early December. I jumped in. I said, okay, you got me. Okay, I'll do the business. Okay, I'll go back to doing my coaching, going back to doing my YouTube videos. I'll go back to doing the Zoom calls. You got me. You got me ring-handed. I'll do it. And literally, the day I sat down with my spiral, and I have it right here in front of me too, like it's a huge spiral. I still do, I call it the Fred Flintstone way. I literally, I have never used a CRM. Okay, don't shame me, y'all. Do not shame me. I never use a CRM. I am Fred Flintstone. I write all my leads in this spiral right here, and I keep it on my desk because it allows me to go back and see what dates, who I've reached out to, and everything. Like it's here, right here at arm's reach. For the 7 years we've been doing this business, we have never used a CRM. So, anywho, first day I dove in, y'all. First day, within 48 hours. I'm just going to give y'all the short version of this. Within 48 hours, I closed 2 deals in my own backyard. That's right. 2 deals in Dallas County. That quick, 50K. And that's what we will be bringing home once we close those cases, 50K. So that was less than like just a few phone calls. And one of them was lingering from like maybe, I'm trying to think, this one may have been lingering. One of them had been lingering from like November. And she kind of went ghost on me. And she wasn't responding back to my text messages. And we had a great conversation through text. But then for some reason, she just stopped talking. And Jason would be like, call her, text her. And I'm like, no, I don't want to feel like I'm harassing her, or, I don't want her to feel some type of way. Like I'm just, begging, or, I'm really trying to get her to sign up. I was like, she'll come around whenever she comes around. And she came around like the same day that I closed another deal. Now, this other deal that I got, I actually had to go door knocking. Yes, in this business, sometimes you have to go door knocking. And this one was actually across town, maybe 15, 20 minutes away, maybe 20 minutes away from where we were. Familiar area. We had friends that grandparents lived on the street and whatnot. And literally, when I pulled up to the home, the claimant was sitting on the porch. And this is like the most sad story, but y'all, you're going to deal with things like this when you're helping people recover funds after foreclosure. You're going to deal with different kind of situations. You don't know what you're walking into. And I got out the car. Well, we drove up and I waved. I smiled and waved. Yep. And I got out the car. And if you're not muted, go ahead and mute because I'm hearing some feedback, please. I got out the car and I walked up to her and she said, we cremated her today. I'm like, cremated who? Like, hold on, wait, excuse me. I don't even know who this woman is. I just know that this woman is sitting on the porch at the home that I know that just foreclosed on December the 2nd. So I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to gather my thoughts here because I don't know how to respond. Like, this is like, I'm walking, like Jason said, I'm walking into a movie. We cremated her today. I said, y'all cremated who today? And she said, my sister. And then she said her name. I said, OMG. OMG. They are the 2 claimants on this case. Sisters, older sister and a big sister. I mean, big sister and little sister, I'm sorry. And so I was talking to big sister. Big sister just buried little sister. Well, not buried, I'm sorry, cremated. So I was like, okay, I don't, whoa. So I'm just, sitting there having a conversation with her, talking to her. Long story short, it's a bad situation, y'all. A really bad situation. There's no heat in the house. There's no running water going on in the house. We found ourselves going to get her a warm blanket and food. And sometimes, you know what, when you've been doing this business for as long as we've been doing
6-7.
Okay.
What?
Go ahead and mute that. Bob, if okay, I'm gonna keep going, but if he unmutes, then we're gonna go ahead and take him out the room. So, anywho, the situation was so big, and we just had to kind of think quick on our feet, like, what can we do to help this woman? She just cremated her sister. She's just lost this house. The house was sold at foreclosure. What can we do? So we just, automatically went into like family mode.
Six,
Like,
seven.
all right, let's go ahead and Jason, can you help me?
Yeah, how you get him out the room? What I need to push?
I got it. He's gone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can get that craziness up out of here, man. You can go
Baby,
play with your kids.
that raw frequency.
Go
Let's
play
see.
with your kids.
Yeah.
Kids want to play. We trying to help people here. Go ahead and continue.
All right. Thank you. So, yeah, so definitely, we had to do whatever we could to help her. And so it was really hard to kind of go into the conversation about the property being foreclosed because she's now telling me my sister's gone. And that's all I've ever had. All we had was each other. And so I'm like, oh, how do I kind of go into the conversation of, hey, the house was sold and, you know, there's some money here that needs to be recovered. How do I go into that conversation? So I just really allow her to talk. I really allow her to give me as much information. And sometimes that's what we have to do in this business is we have to just learn how to be quiet and allow the claimant to talk because they will give you all the information that you're looking for, everything that you need to move forward. So, just getting a lot of information from her. And I went on and I kind of explained to her, hey, they did foreclose on the property. It did sell and it sold for more than what was owed. And that's called a surplus. So there are funds that are needing to be claimed by you. I said, well, let me ask you a question. Did your sister have any children? She said, no. I said, do you have any children? She said, no. I said, okay. As far as the house, I see that you two are both on the home. Was this your parents' home? She said, yes, the home was passed down to them. I said, okay. So I'm asking questions, but, I'm allowing her to kind of talk and, share and whatnot. And so when we, long story short, when we got down to the bottom of things, I had the two correct claimants that I needed to sign up for this. 99K sitting with the county. Okay. 99K doing that whole surplus deal at 30%. We're going to help this lady get these funds so she can get to her next destination. So Jason, if you want to jump in, if I'm leaving anything out, jump
I
in.
think I think this one was 35%, but now it's just one lady since her sister passed away.
Yeah.
So she's going to get everything. This is two sisters with mom and dad passed away. They're living in mom and dad's home, which was their home where they grew up at. And like big sister said, little sister passed away, and you just we're just pulling up, because you don't know what to expect when you're just driving up to someone's home. And Karen went over a whole lot this last few moments, so I'm just trying to pick up wherever I can. So you don't know where their mindset is. You don't know what's going on. Like she said, the house foreclosed on a few days ago, a week or so ago, and we're just rolling up, just to kind of see what we can do. You would like to get a deal. That's a home run situation. Like to sign them up, and of course, you like to have a situation where someone's living, and we kind of had the best of both worlds there. A tough situation, but it's life. This business is probably 50-60% is going to be estate cases where people have passed away. And this one was one of those where somebody's passed away, and now the sister gets everything because they don't have kids. So she's going to get the whole entire 99K plus, minus any taxes that the state is going to take out, and we'll get our 35%. And in this situation, it's even more special because it seemed like the little sister that passed away was taking care of the big sister, and we got a chance to meet a couple of family members Um, they reached out to us after we had assigned up the sister just to kind of speak on her well-being and mental and things of that nature, what's going on and how they felt about it. And they're going to try to help her in her next destination, or maybe get into a nursing home or a living facility, something like that. Because it looks like she's probably in her early 60s. I would say her real late 50s to
Yeah,
early
she's in
60s.
her yeah, she's in her early 60s. Um, yeah, and like I was saying, all she's ever had was her sister. In the living situation, after talking with the family, speaking with the family, we met with the family at Starbucks. So they can, get comfortable with who we are and what we do. And that's what you call build a rapport. So
And
like
Karen knows half the town too, so she'll jump in more. And when she sees these people at Starbucks, she ends up knowing one of the fellows that we're sitting down talking to. I think we're talking to a cousin and
yeah,
maybe a couple of more cousins, and she ends up knowing one of their older cousins because it seems like his family went to church with us, and they know each other. So him and Karen know each other's family. She knows his grandfather, and he knows Karen's family. So that's why we tell y'all just kind of get out and get about in your neighborhood, because you just don't know where you're going to land and who you're going to be able to assist and help. But go ahead, Karen.
yeah. So, just, the reason for me sharing this story with y'all is that I had given up. And it wasn't because I couldn't get a deal or, I got discouraged about the business. It's because I wanted to go do what I felt like was more important. And sometimes we have to kind of prioritize what we got going on. And I know a lot of the times we work our 9 to 5 jobs, we got family, we got situations, we got things going on in life. And if Jason and I would have used that excuse starting off, we wouldn't be where we are. It took a lot of sacrificing, it took a lot of surrendering to a lot of things, changing our ways, changing our thinking, surrounding ourselves around other like minded people, getting around people that talk about money and business and entrepreneurship. So sometimes you have to change what's around you to get to where you want to go. And so at the end of the day, we got to stop making excuses as to why. Y'all have a great, like, the surplus funds business is like the best thing to even know. It's like a jewel that is hidden, and not everyone knows about this. So you have to take advantage of the information that you have on this business. This did not fall in your lap just to fall in your lap. It fell in your lap for a reason. And my thing is, when God sends you down a rabbit hole of something that that's not talked about as much, go down that rabbit hole and see how far it will take you. Had it not been for Jason he went down the rabbit hole, came back up, grabbed my hand and said, "You coming with me?" And I joined him and we went strong. The first few years we went strong. But I'm going to tell you, the last 2 years, I left him deserted. When I caught wind that he had VAs, I was like, "Oh, you're good. You're good. You don't need me. I can go focus on what I want to go do." But when I went over there and did what I wanted to go do, I started struggling. I'm like, "Oh, I need money for this. I need money for that." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah. Come on back. Come on back. That's great. I know you want to do that, but you got to come back where the meat and potatoes are. Where now I'm not gonna call this easy money, but God dog, it can be easy. It really can. But you just have to change your thinking. That's all. You really have to change the way that you think. You have when that day, and I can remember that day I made that phone call to this last claimant we just talked about. I was in a good mood. I was positive. I was like, you know what? This was the first Tuesday of December. I'm gonna call someone. I'm gonna get somebody on the phone. I don't care who it is. I'm gonna get somebody. And I always tell myself that, and it always works out like that. Every deal that I have closed has been from the Dallas County list on the first Tuesday of the month. It's always been from that list. And, I didn't even get this lady on the phone. I just looked at the address and I said, oh, I know where this is at. I was like, hey, let's get dressed. Let's go over there. And look at it. I pull up and she's outside. Now I'm talking to her. Now she's giving me information. Now she's connecting me with her cousin that she trusts because right now she can't even think clear. She don't just call my cousin. Okay, well, what's your cousin number? Get him on the phone. Talk to him. He tells me people been calling. Well, I had to set myself apart from everybody. Why should they work with us? So I gave him every reason of why they should be working with us. We're local. We're local. If you need to contact us anytime, you can. And he has been taking full advantage of that. He will call me. He called us literally the other day. We were heading back home from San Antonio, took our son to go see TCU game at the Alamo Bowl. And my phone rings and we're in the car, music loud. And I'm like, babe, turn the music down. And I said hello. And he wanted to just kind of make sure that, there wasn't anything else we needed. And I told him, hey, just hang tight because the attorney may ask for the death certificate for the sister, whatnot. So we're like closing deals and talking to claimants and claimants' family while we're on vacation, while we're on the road, while we're doing what we love to do. So this is why I tell y'all, stop making excuses of why you have not dived all the way into this business. As you can see, I just told you, I found this deal, and couldn't even get a good phone number. So I got dressed and I'm like, well, let's go. Yeah, let's go. But the other lady, I was able to get her on the phone less than like literally 30 minutes. Less than 30 minutes. It does not take all day to make phone calls. You either got the number or you don't. Either you're going to have to kind of scramble a little bit or not. And I didn't even have, this was not even any skip trace leads. I had to go to use True People Search and find these numbers and to find who the relatives may be to these people or whatnot. I did all my research from True People Search.
I don't think you had a phone number for this lady.
But not for Regina.
I
No,
think,
I didn't.
yeah, I think we just went over to the house.
Mm-hmm.
We seen the address, and we were like, and this is in our part of town where I grew up at.
Yeah.
Um, let's head over there. And Karen was like, you want to go over there tomorrow? And I'm like, no, we finna go today. We finna get ready to go in a few moments. So, and it was perfect timing. It's all about timing. It's all about your energy and your frequency. And like Karen said, she had walked away and quit and wanted to do everything else. And I don't think Karen made $50,000 doing anything else in those
No,
previous 2 years
nowhere
when
close to it.
she wanted to do everything else. And I don't think that's any different from anybody running a family business. I just think these local businesses, what if the kids and the family walked out and left granddaddy or grandma at the home based business, at the ice cream parlor or the mom's grandma's home food or whatever, mom's, these kind of mom and pop stores. If the family walks out, it's going to be hard for grandma or whomever to kind of run these businesses all by themselves. And that's why they call it a family business. This is a small home based business we have. And it's a blessing of us to be in this situation because everybody doesn't have it like this. Somebody just may be them just trying to do it all by themselves. So I tell Karen, just kind of take advantage of what we have, being able to help each other, because it's always nice to work as a team because it ain't no I in team. So you always want to, that's why we want to kind of have ourselves available to help y'all. So y'all don't feel that y'all are doing this by yourself. You got somebody you can email. You got somebody you can talk to. You got people that you can get with and send leads over to you. And that's just what we didn't have when we were coming up in this business. Didn't have anybody to go back and forth with, to actually speak on the phone, to bounce questions and answers with, what to do when I actually get someone. Can you help me close it? Have you ever closed one before? Can you help me get paid? We didn't have any of that. So I just wanted to kind of jump in and chime on what we're trying to offer and what we're providing and assistance and teamwork that we want to kind of just offer to y'all on how you can achieve these same type of deals. Now, I'm not going to say that y'all are going to get two deals in 48 hours. That's just what Karen was at. It took me 2 years to get her back on this frequency because she wanted to do other things and handle other aspects of different businesses that she had. But it's just a frequency, and then you get ready to get started, and then you set goals, and then it just happens like that. So I don't want to paint that picture like y'all have, y'all first deal in the next 24 to 48 hours. But if you get started tomorrow, you can. It's just a race. Everybody's going to run the race, and once we get to the finish line, you will all get to the finish line at different times. But if we don't quit and don't give up, like she was saying, we'll all get to the finish line. Now, I know some
But
of
you
us,
can.
some of
But you
us,
can.
yeah,
Go ahead.
we'll all get to the finish line and we don't give up. And I know some of us are new, some of us are old. I can see my boy Sultan on the line, so thank you, Sultan, for jumping in. You can chime in whenever you want. So we're just kind of recharging and getting everybody back and get new people back on the scene because I know y'all seeing a lot of this stuff on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and regarding the surplus business, and it can be done, but you have to ask yourself, do you really want it? Or are you actually going to try to achieve? I'm going to get rid of the word try. Are you going to achieve the dreams and aspirations that you're looking to do? And I want to give a shout out to Shauna Jones. He's not on this call, but we went missing for maybe 3, 4 months on our last YouTube because I was telling Karen I just want to sit back because you got so much of this on YouTube where you can put the pieces together and learn. Of course, you may need the paperwork and things of that nature. We had to find our own paperwork online, but we had got with the students, and I was just telling her it's kind of like testing time, or it's kind of like finals. I told them that you have to get out, you got to text, you got to call, you got to email people, and it's only so much that I can iterate those words on a weekly and bi-weekly basis. I said, let's just sit back for a month or two and allow the students to take the test. Let's allow them, if they going, what you do in college when you don't like a class, you're going to go down to the dean's office and say, hey, can you take me out of this class? I want to do something else. Me and Karen, we just wanted to sit back, me especially, to see who's going to sink or swim. We told you everything. We gave you all the steps. Are you going to actually continue and try? We reach out, we talk, we have these meetings on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis. I'm checking in with people. I want to see if we don't pop up and we don't show up, are you going to continue? Is the team going to continue? Or is everybody just going to fall out and stop? And I want to really give a shout out to Shauna Jones. I'm not going to even call him a student because I met the young man. I had to get my headliner done in my car. And I just found the shop in our local area in Dallas, and I went to his shop. Then I think me and him were on Eric Richardson's class. He's another one of these YouTube giants in this surplus industry. And then he was like, man, I think I know you. And I like, yeah, we talked and we got on this call. He's been on a bunch of these calls last year. And he was like, man, you were the dude that came to my shop. I didn't know you was teaching this business and, you work in this business too. And he was in a bunch of our classes and these calls and these Zoom calls. And I was just telling him, son, I know you work in the upholstery business, man. You at the shop 8, 10 hours a day. But to get your deal in this surplus, you're just going to have time. You're going to have to make time to call, email, and text people. And we just went over it month after month after month after month. And he finally had some time to call, text, and email people. And he finally got his first deal, closed it out all by himself. So even though he's not on the call, I want to give him a shout out for doing so. So, in that 3, 4 time frame period that we hadn't done a Zoom call, one of our students and my partner, my homeboy, and one of the my friend, I would call him. I want to call him a student because he was already kind of learning the business before he met us and got on our team. But he finished what we were talking about, and he actually got his first deal. But he didn't quit and he didn't give up. And I just wanted to keep giving him that motivation that if you keep calling people, if you keep texting people, if you keep emailing people, it's just impossible for you to not get one deal. All we're doing, y'all, is passing out money. That's literally all we're doing is giving away money. That's it. So if you keep trying to give away money, no different than the homeless people and people on the corner sitting outside shaking their cups and asking all the cars that pass by. They're asking for money. Like, hey, I know you at the stoplight right now. Can you spare a little change? Give me a little money, please. And if they sit out there long enough, they're gonna get some change in that cup. I promise. It's just the love and frequency that people have to pass out money. And I do it all the time. And I tell Karen to do it also. So what we're doing is passing out big old live, big lump sums of money. So if you just keep on trying, y'all, you'll get one. You just have to keep trying. That's it. I know Karen talked about walking away from the business and coming back. The key to that is just not quitting and not giving up because you're so close to the finish line. If you just keep going, there's just no telling what you can do and all the good you can do if you just keep going down the path you're on. Don't give up. I know you got other things and you want to do 10 things at one time. And I talk to Karen and our students all the time. Let's just do this one thing and get real good at this one thing so we can actually kind of make some waves and make some headlines on this one thing and get good on closing these deals. And let's just focus on this because you're going to have to give yourself a little time, a little focus to try to learn something new. And once you put these pieces together and get one of these deals, this is a 5-figure check. It's going to be thousands of dollars, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. And Karen got these two deals, and that's going to be $50,000 on our side. That's our take home part. One of the deals is 15,000. I'll let her chime into that deal. And the deal we just went door knocking on where we couldn't find a phone number. We couldn't find a phone number for her. We didn't know this one of the sisters passed away. We didn't even know that they were sisters. We just seen the two names and we weren't sure what their relationship was. And we just seen that we knew that area 20 minutes down the street. Let's just take a chance and go to the house. And boom, a touchdown. The best thing that you could hope for. And to get that one closed out at 35% too. And that's 35,000. That's 35% of 99 grand. You just can't beat that, y'all. It's just a
Yeah.
blessing. It's just a blessing from God to be able to help people pass out money and help them get it in this time that they need, and they need us. I know we need them also because we like to make a little bit of money, but they need us. They need our help. Their family needs our help. Their family doesn't know how to get the money. This woman's about to be homeless in another month. She's grieving over her, the little sister that just passed away and got cremated. She ain't worried about none of this stuff. Like the family said, the water ain't been on in years. The gas is not on, so she don't have heat in the house with the stove on. So me and Karen just went into emergency mode. Like, what can we do to help you, ma'am? Are you hungry? We went down the street, got some chicken, and Karen said she don't like that chicken spot. Go to another chicken spot for her. Went to a chicken spot for her, and you asked, what else you need, ma'am? She's like, it's cold, can I have? Karen like, okay, let me go get you an electric blanket. Just loving on people, y'all. The best we can. Just loving on people. Met the family. The family's like, okay, cool. Karen knows the family. It's just amazing that it works out like that. And that's just a testimony for Karen, because like she went over what she was going on and what she was doing. Only God can work things out like that. But I don't want us to yap this whole 2 hours or hour and a half. I want everybody else to kind of chime in on where they're at in this surplus journey. I see Malik is here and Sultan. I think Juan is here. Me and Juan been going over the
Herbert.
business. Herbert
Herbert's here.
McKinney, yeah,
Yeah.
Herbert McKinney. Hopefully, him and his wife are better, and his wife is doing a lot better. So, Tony is back in here. I think Tony was with us last year for a while or so. So, y'all just kind of chime in, man, wherever y'all want to jump in at. Miss Joyce, me and Miss Joyce have been speaking over the last month or so. So, anybody can, the floor is open. Unless Karen, you got some more that you
I
want to go
do.
over.
I just wanna say this. I know at times we look for accountability partners. That's the first thing that we say all the time. Oh, I just need someone, accountability partner, someone that's going to hold me accountable. But in order for someone to hold you accountable, you have to hold yourself accountable, period. And what I love about what Jason and I do is we are accountability partners and we're going to make you hold yourself accountable first. But we offer our coaching, our mentorship. And I know a lot of people that do this business or may teach this business may not offer too much of that because everyone is on their own, path in this business. So some people they don't, may not carry that gift or may have that time and of offering coaching and mentorship. But what I love that Jason has done, outside of this business is he makes himself available. And that's what makes this a whole lot easier and gets you to the finish line quicker, is because you have a coach on the other line that's going to coach you and tell you what to say, what to do if you're, in between conversation with the claimant. And he's going to tell you what to text them and how to follow up. And that's what I love about what he does, because every time I turn around, he's on the phone, literally. Um, every vacation we took this year, I would turn around, he's on the phone. We're at the pool in Vegas. I'm like, who are you talking to? I'm coaching somebody. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, can you put the phone down for a minute? He puts y'all first. Like, literally, he really wants to see y'all win. He wants to see y'all a touchdown. I don't know nothing about football, but he wants to see y'all make a touchdown. He wants to see y'all win and close your first deal. And all you can do really at the end of the day is say, you know what, I can do it. I can do it. If I have someone cheering me on that's going to mentor me and hold my hand through this process so I can get to where I want to be with this business, come on. You can't pass anything like that up. So before we open the floor up, I do want to say, I know that we are in a new year. I know we have some familiar faces here. I know we may have some new faces here, some people that have been with us early on and may have not picked this back up, over the last 3, 4 years. I'm not sure. But what right now tonight, what we are offering, our course is 3,000. Okay. Don't let that scare you. Okay. Because I used to let numbers scare me. I don't let numbers scare me anymore. Okay. I step up to them and I say, okay, I got it. If I ain't got it, I'm going to get it. Okay. But tonight we are offering 10% down. So that is only $300. If you pay the $300 today, we will get you started with leads. We will get you started with your coaching. And I don't know, Jason, he calls it hold your hand program. He is going to hold your hand and he is going to make sure that you close your first deal. I know we had a student maybe last year, I'm not sure. We closed the deal in Las Vegas. Jason coached her all the way through from the beginning to the end. We can't find a claimant. Get on TikTok, get on social media. He just told her, like, boom, 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 step by step, what to do. And we ended up closing a 6-figure deal. I didn't stutter. 6 figures out in Las Vegas. Okay. So, and that was like a day before it's cheap. The day before it is cheated. Yeah. One day before it was as cheated. We got the documents over to the attorney. The attorney got it over to whomever they needed to get it to. And we were able to close that deal within, I think, 30, maybe 60 days, maybe 30 days, I want to say. But that was our student's first deal. And she was coached through the whole process. And I'm going to say this because I want to be very transparent. She was facing homelessness. She did not have a place. She was living out of a motel. All she had was her laptop. She had her laptop and us. Laptop and us. And after it was all said and done, after she got paid out her her 5 figures, let's just say she went home
20 grand.
anymore.
She got paid 20 grand off that deal.
Yeah.
So Karen just made 50 grand. She made 20 grand. I think we had Trevor Mott last year made 20 grand on his first deal.
In
So this
Vegas.
20 grand on your first deal is not unusual. It's like one of those game winning shots that can happen. And this is just one of those business that it can happen. I wouldn't call it a hold your hand program. It's just I guess we'll just call it we'll do it together program or accountability partner program, because I'm not gonna hold your hand because we gotta hold these babies' hands and these kids. I know we all grown and adults here, so let's just do it together. Because if somebody else can get a 5, 10, 15, $20,000 deal, I want one too. So I ain't got time to be held in your hand. I got to run to this 5, 10, 15, $20,000 deal, and I'd like for you to run with me. And if
Right.
I'm not sure we got anybody in a wheelchair or a walker or a pusher or a cane, we'll limp to it, I guess. Or we'll crawl to it. But
Yeah.
we don't mind helping y'all do it together. And don't let the $300 hold you, because we've had people to come in at a lower amount, because we still have our 30-day program, our 60-day program, 90-day program. We got something for all ages. for all people in any aspect, you know. So some people can jump right in, they got it to pay. And if you need to make payments, we'll work with you also. We just don't take any excuses here on why you can't do it. So money not going to be the situation on why you can't do it. We're not going to allow that to stop you. So we want to see you succeed, and we're going to try to stomp out all and any excuses, because if this young lady can do it, and she was in a motel room trying to get back on her feet, I'm sure y'all can do it. We've had people in all different age ranges and nationalities, you know, close deals. And this is something where you don't need to go back to school. You don't need a bunch of different degrees or licenses. The only thing you have to do is want to help people and make a few calls, make a few text messages, and email some people if you like. But you got to do a few of those.
Yeah.
And like Karen said, she couldn't find a phone number, so she just seen an address that got foreclosed here in Dallas and just decided to drive to the house. And here it is, the only living sister that's $99,000 with her name on it is sitting outside grieving her big sister. That excuse me, the big sister was this now the little sister buried the big sister? No, the
The
big
big
sister buried the
sister
little
buried the
sister.
little sister.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
big sister is outside grieving because she just cremated the little
Cremated.
sister.
Yeah.
Me and Karen know is $99,000 sitting there. But before we got there, I just say, Karen, usually these tax cases are going to be estate cases where somebody passes away. And I'm not sure if that's the situation, but usually, because that was our first deal. Our first deal that we got was a husband and wife that passed away, and they didn't have kids. So we was passing out money to uncles and aunties, and that was a six-figure deal. So here we are now, $1,000 away from this being a six-figure. I call it a six-figure deal. You know, 99,000 is damn near $100,000. But getting 35% of that, y'all, is life changing.
Yeah.
And all day long, these people will not care because you're assisting and helping them in the most difficult time in their life, where there's death in the family. And also, I don't, I, I can't even imagine burying my big sister, my little sister, my big brother, my little brother, and I'm finna get evicted out of my home that my mom and dad paid for and raised me at the same time. I can't even imagine being in these type of tornadoes and tsunamis, these catastrophic situations that we walk into regarding this business. And this business is tough, it's beautiful, but it's tough, and it's a tearjerker, and it makes you want to break down and cry and give glory to God at the same time. Yeah, we're happy for this, man, but somebody just lost, you know, their big sister or little sister in this situation. Big sister is burying the little sister. Mom and dad got this house paid off. She grew up in this house. Her and her sister living at this house. They don't have kids. All they have is each other. She just buried her sister. Ain't no water in the house, y'all. Ain't no gas. So you can imagine the living conditions inside of the home. And the family at Starbucks said it was like a hole in the roof. So you can imagine the type of situation and living conditions that they have in the inside of this house. So I want you to imagine the mental situation that these people or somebody is going through in this situation. And you just pop up at the door, and then we had our son in the back seat too. He jumped out smiling and walked up talking to her and hugging her and stuff like that, man. So this business is really just putting your heart on your sleeve and going out and conversating and talking with people and getting right in the middle of their chaos. You're getting right in the middle of heartache and pain and chaos, because these are situations where someone's losing their property. The property has already been purchased, and they're about 30 to 60 days or less than getting evicted. In this situation, getting evicted out of her house that they took over from mom and dad, paid off property, beautiful neighborhood, and about to get kicked out and be evicted within a few weeks. And it's just a tough situation. But to be able to help somebody and have thousands of dollars that you can give somebody, man, is the best business in the world. I don't see how Karen walked away from 2 years. I'm like really clueless. I'm baffled on how you could walk away from when you get paid 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 thousands of dollars from really just helping people. But you know, everybody wants to do whatever they want to do, whatever that may be. But I guess this is just my calling. So no different than a baseball, football, soccer player, teachers, the local person at McDonald's or whatever that people do that they love their job. I guess I just love my job too. You just got to find something that you want to stick with, that you enjoy, that you don't mind doing. Is this is something that I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy talking to people on the phone. I've been in customer service, talking to people my whole life, and I don't have a problem with it. Introducing myself and just having a conversation with people. That's all we're doing in this situation, y'all. I'm not asking y'all to get in rush hour traffic in the morning or at night. Just make a couple texts, a couple phone calls a day. I know you got other things that you do. You're busy, just like all of us, kids, life, family, friends. But that's all this business is if you have time to drive around and make some house calls like me and Sultan do, great. If you can just make a few calls, a few text messages, and a few emails, that's great. But if you just keep doing it, that's all I'm asking you to do. Just roll with us for 2026. Give yourself a year. You got students that come on, they yeah, yeah, yeah. You do it for a month, and then the firecracker goes out even before you're allowed to pop and celebrate. Give
Mhm.
yourself a year of learning something new, trying something different to see if you can actually do it. Don't think you think Rome was built or your city and town, wherever you live at, was built in 1 month. It's gonna be hard to get all your dreams and aspirations done in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Give yourself just a little while to learn something new to achieve your goals. But anybody want to jump in, you definitely can because me and Karen don't want to talk our ears off all night. Anybody want to jump in? They'll make us start calling names.
I'll jump
So
in and say, hey, how y'all doing?
what's happening, Sultan?
Hey, Sultan.
Nothing. I've been all right. Been all right. How about y'all?
Man,
Good.
God's still good. Most High is always beautiful, man. It's always good. So
I heard that, man. I heard that. Yeah. So yeah, I've been hanging in there, man. I really haven't got any of those Georgia leads. I wanted to, but I just been so like you said, kind of distracted working on a couple other things and stuff like that. And the leads I do have were just my own little stuff that I found under a rock
yeah.
that you know. I go down to the courthouse and I try to dig up something nobody's paying attention to all the time. So that's my main approach.
You deep down in the treasures with it, Sultan. So you kind of you started to master this business where you just kind of going to dive off ridge there, kind of just dive off the map and kind of just curate your own leads, is what you're saying.
To an extent, yeah, to an extent. I mean, I still will try to, call a few of the leads that I received. But I try to, I'm really trying to focus on people that haven't been touched or at least haven't been touched in a long time. I see them actually on a list and I'm like, okay, for whatever reason, they're not accessible. Like one of the latest ones I've been working with is actually a company, right? But as I dug through the layers, the owner of the company died, and the only heir is a son from a woman that wasn't his wife. So it was like born out of wedlock, but still eligible for the surplus. So it was quite a few steps I had to dig through to even get to that one. Found her making a comment on the obituary, and that was the only link I had. I didn't have anything else. Even nowhere said he had a son, except for her making a comment on the obituary,
Hmm.
and it was just like, oh, okay, what's going on here? So that's been one I'm getting real close on, you know, lately.
How old is the son in this situation? You think?
Ooh, I think he's about 50, around about
Okay.
50 years old. Um,
So how much he looking at Sultan that he has no clue is waiting for him
man,
from
this
his
joker
mom.
right here, man, 108,000.
Man.
100. I mean, I've been telling him 70,000 plus, just accounting for the fee. But he
Oh
hasn't
yeah, yeah.
responded. But I've been talking with his mom, and then she keeps saying she'll stay on him. Like, hey, if he don't respond, let me know. You know what I mean? That was her
What what
last message.
what do you think you can tell mom, Sultan, to push her over the edge? Because me and you. we almost closed that case out in Ohio, and we would start to
Yeah.
throw that money around to other family members to see if they
Yep.
could help. But this young man that we dealt with in Ohio, his mental
Yep.
This
capacity
is a hard
was
conversation she's gonna
so
have to have with the
off.
son because now it's gonna let other skeletons out the closet that she
Yep.
done. Yeah.
Well, she said a couple things. She said that first of all, no, and I don't know, he might be, getting somebody else on it, but she said, of course, he said he thinks it's a scam and that he already had another lawyer look at it or somebody look at it, and he thinks it's a scam. So I'm like, well, if he had a quote unquote lawyer, some people say that, and he still thinks it's a scam, then either A, that lawyer doesn't specialize in this area of the law, which is another thing I communicated with her, or B, he's just, he's lying and he's scared. You know what I mean? He's just a human psychological protection mechanism of like, it's strange, it's different. I done lived half a century and strange and different things, I'm protecting myself from. And so I don't know. I even dug around. I told her today in the message I sent, because what happens is a lot of times I send her a message and she'll end up write me back about 2 days later, a day later. Last time it was a weird time. She wrote me at 10:30 at night. She said, "I'm sorry for contacting you so late, but here's my son's number." And I was like, "Dang, okay, thank you." You know, but yeah, I just let her know that yeah. Today I dropped the "if he don't want it" bomb. I said, if he doesn't want the 70 something thousand plus, um, we can talk to him about assigning his rights to it to you or to my company, you know what I mean? And then that way, at least somebody can get it. And I also talked about how, historically, this is one of the main ways that, African Americans, I'm African American, I'm not sure about everybody on this call, but a lot of people have lost property in this country through these, because this is a tax sale one. So through these tax sales,
Hmm.
and I said, Georgia law has given us a way, we have a way to get some of that, at least the monies back from those sales. So, you
Yeah,
know,
we losing with the world is losing their inheritance.
exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
because we
Everybody
don't
that doesn't
what
know.
wasn't taught about it in school. We don't know about it.
Nope.
We don't understand it. And the first thing we think when somebody says where you're owed some money, fraud. I spoke
Yeah.
with a woman got foreclosed on in New Orleans, Louisiana. Well, there's so much fraud in the world. Man, people think when you call and trying to give them money, the first like
It's
that
fraud.
defense mechanism or something to say, oh shit, it's fraud. Like,
Yeah.
how can somebody handing me thousands of dollars be fraud? I thought fraud
Yeah.
was when I'm asking you for your credit card. Can you give me
Right.
your debit card and your credit card and all your information, please? And your bank account and your account
Yeah.
information. Send me some money here because
Right.
your family member lost and they at my house and they need your money. I thought that was fraud. Them trying to
Mm-hmm.
get your money to their pockets. But if somebody's trying to call to give you money, they're call. How can somebody? I'm just flabbergasted when that mechanism comes up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I'm making a
there's so
long
much
story
fraud
short,
in the
but
world.
yeah, that's one thing she talked about when she first told me about the scam thing earlier. That's one thing I told her about as well, is that, if it was a scam, um, you know, uh, I'd be asking for money, and I'm not asking for any money.
Yeah,
I also told her additionally, my company would not be officially registered with the state of Georgia, and we would not be using a lawyer that's on the Georgia bar, unless we were just looking into committing felonies and going to jail. I said I have a family to take care of, and I'm just trying to help people. That's all.
that's
Um,
it.
and I just all I really need to do is show him the proof I have from the state of Georgia showing his legal rights, and also on the county's proof of funds, because this is a tax sale one, so the dollar signs are sitting there right there on the list of the county, page 5. I know exactly where it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's clear as day. It's just a matter of him calling, or if he didn't try to go with somebody else, I don't know if he's what he's doing, because he's not. And it's been a holiday too. You're dealing with, today's a holiday, and she's still contacting me over these past few days. You know what I mean? But I understand with the holiday, activities for some people, it can be very distracting, and they ain't really, trying to feel all that anyways
Best
right
time to
now,
talk to people, Sultan. I tell people the best time to talk to people is on Saturdays and Sundays because there's usually the only time that they have off. And another
Right,
time, the best time to talk to people is holidays. They off from work.
right.
I got up some
Yeah, that's one
people that
reason I
check
reached
in
out to
on
her today
Christmas.
because I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and send her at least a little text message because a lot of times she don't answer the phone, but
Yeah.
she responds to text messages, so I'm kind of keeping it there as long as she stays engaged because I know the mom she really wants it to happen, but we'll see.
Man, I would tell mom, give me a copy of that son's ID, and mom,
Hmm.
me and you gonna do this together. We got
Yeah,
to get that money because mom know what's up. Mom like, no,
You
okay,
know,
we get some help. You got to have mom jump in and be mama.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And she can do that. She can tell him, look, boy, come here.
Yeah,
yeah,
mama can
yeah.
do that.
Stop being scared. What you scared of?
Yeah, man. Talking about
I'll
we
be
got
his
70
behind.
some thousand here. Shit, if that money come, give it to me because you didn't believe it.
Yeah, my next step, I'll tell my wife, my next step is just to ride over there. They only about 30, 40 minutes from my house over in Conyers, so they're not that far away. You know what I
Look,
mean?
and I don't know why you
Uh,
ain't been over mama house yet.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to wait. I mean, at least till tomorrow. These people, man. I don't, me personally, I'm just not into the holidays, but I don't want to roll up on a picnic and a bunch of stuff, and it's just like let
Had
them
a
do their
picnic.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I
I
think
might
after
show
today,
see them
something, I
tomorrow.
think we're in the clear. I think we're in the clear
We're in the
after
clear
the
now.
It's
so-called, yeah,
all over
after the
now.
reindeer,
It's over now.
the reindeer is done flying in the sky, and
What?
everybody done shot most of their bullets out of their guns. So we should be pretty good.
But Santa's got 360 days to see if they acting right, though.
I think we should be good now, man. But I would definitely try to get in the best as I can with mom
Right.
because she seems that she's going to be your link in this situation because this that $200,000 tax deal that we done, a
Hmm.
student done, and it was like 239,000 in
Hmm.
Nevada. It was a tax deal, and we got it the day before we escheated. We found the daughter on Instagram or something.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram, or something, and then we just kept on. I kept on telling her to just keep messenger. She's telling you and calling you a weirdo and you're a scam. Just keep texting her
Hmm.
because that's our link to mama. Because we can't find mama. But if you got the daughter and she
Yeah.
young, maybe in her 20s, the daughter know
Hmm.
what cash money is. She know
How
money.
much she
She
get?
talking
How
money.
much she get?
I think we gave the daughter a couple grand, maybe close to 2, 3 grand. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
for looking out for her mom, away from her mom's money. We gave
Yeah.
mom about 40 something, 50, because she was saying
Nice.
she was cool. She was like, I don't care what I get. I just can't believe I got some money because mama had no clue. Mama was on some type of trust. And she was
Yeah.
like, I don't even know how or what this happened, but I don't care what
Mm.
y'all charge. If y'all finna give
Yeah.
me some money, I'm cool. Y'all finna give me 20, 30,
Nice.
$40,000. I don't care. What I need to sign? Because I don't
Mm.
even know how
Yeah.
my name is on this. And we were like, well, Nevada said you owe 239,000. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't tell her the specific amount. We were just saying,
Number.
we had took out 40%, 45% out.
Mm.
But we were just like, hey, you owed a lot of money here, thousands of dollars, at least
Yeah.
about 50,000 on our
Yeah.
side that we can see. Now it can be some other liens and judgments that we can't see. And
Right.
she was like, I don't care what y'all charging me. Well, where I need to sign. I'm cool with that. And
Mm.
we were able to help her, but sometimes those family members in that situation was a daughter, and in Sultan's situation, it seemed like his mom, this guy's mom, is his closest way to being able to close this deal. And you
Mm.
got it right there, Sultan. Just keep working mom out because mom
Mm.
is on your frequency. She feel what you cooking. She smell it.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Because I think one thing is too, because initially, I had her on the phone, and we talked for quite a while. So, and one thing about her, I can tell just I'm grown and I don't dealt with I'm married and all that stuff, but she was gushing over the guy, you know what I mean? The baby
Mm,
daddy, so to speak. She was like, "Oh
mm.
yeah, he this," and I could tell her voice got soft and everything. I was like, "Oh, she's
Yeah,
loved it.
she,
This
she
man,
remember she remembered
this
that
man put
relationship,
it."
huh?
Yeah, I mean, even the way her comment was on the obituary, it's like they were never married, but she was just thanking him for the gift of a son and how much he, you know what I mean, on the obituary. I'm like, dang, this lady right here, she might be the key. And I didn't even know, any details until I called her up. I said, well, she said something about a son. That might be the ex-wife or something, but she don't seem, so.
Yeah. So
But
now
yeah,
you
yeah, I'm
say,
definitely gonna tap in with her and stay tight until she tells me to get lost, fool. I'm calling the
no.
police.
Now you say he left this money for y'all.
Yeah.
That's how
Okay.
you need to say it. He left this
Okay.
money for y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good way.
Because he
Good way.
wasn't
Another.
there. He wasn't there. It don't seem like he was there throwing soccer balls with Bobby. It doesn't seem
Mm-mm.
like he was at Bobby's baseball game. So he
Mm-mm.
left that money for them. That's
Yeah.
how you have to say it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Connect it back to him and
Oh
say,
yeah, you
hey,
got it. Yep. You got it.
yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else want to jump in? Herbert, what's going on, man? Malik, what's going on? Y'all want to jump in? One, jump in. One, you almost got a deal a couple of times. You close. You got some fish biting out there
I
in
know, I
California.
know, I know, man. I appreciate you. Um, I like to do deep research, and that's what I did in the last one. Uh, it was something interesting, and I'm pretty sure nobody else can find it that easy because I use a bunch of tools to can find these people. She died and she's from Africa. I think it's Tanzania or something. And it wasn't showing no relatives in here. And I used a tool and then found a brother who lives in Canada. I spoke with him. He was super cool and everything. He was giving me all the information, but I guess something there I didn't develop enough relationship with him or something. Or sometimes you can want to think that way, but sometimes people have life too, and maybe something has is on his life. But I sent to Jason the other day that I even translated in French some words, and I wrote some relatives that I think they are on. I think they because he told me everybody else lives in Europe. So I sent to this to people. They haven't answered me yet, but I sent like a direct message through Facebook. So I keep looking. I'm gonna keep trying to call the guy. He's like I said, he's from Canada, and he was super cool. He gave me his email. He gave me everything, but I haven't been able to get a hold of him. But it's funny because it was like the first call that I was doing that day. I look for people that it was deceased. I do wholesaling and I work looking for people that they are deceased on my wholesale side rather than call somebody else. I look for the families, tax delinquents and stuff, but they are actually deceased better. So I was like, I know how to find some people, so I use that. Uh, but I keep trying. I keep trying because I feel like somebody when is deceased probably is easier to talk with them about this to the family. Um, and something that I have learned when somebody says that, we're spam or something, I said, well, I asked them, what make you think that, right? Is anything that I have said? Did I ask you for your social security number? Did I ask you for a credit card? I haven't. So, and I won't because I don't need that. And a lot of times they're like, yeah, you're right? Or sometimes I'm like, okay, in their case, it's like the county is the bad boy in here, not me, trying to help you, right? The county, they don't care. They wanted the money. Like if it's a foreclosure, well, they're gonna take the property. If it's, uh, you know, this type of business where there's the money, they don't worry about looking for you because for them it's better to keep that money there. So we come and help you in that way. But I'm taking a lot of words that Jason and Karen have said today. Is like keep doing it, keep pushing it, and I know that eventually will come. Um, I like to work in that way, niche a little bit. Even we can have a phone number. I'd rather to look a little bit deeper because a lot of people won't do it.
Right.
So I want to work different than everybody else. Because probably, right there, if, maybe I'm the first one talking with them or the only one. That's why it's my name, right? The only one. So I'm I'm gonna be the first one and the only one talking with them. So that's the goal, and I'll keep pushing it. And something again that Jason said, like, you don't need to call a lot of people sometimes, but as you do it consistent, this you do it, then eventually you will find them.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
guys.
love everything you said, Juan. You were like, you're right on it. It was something you said. You sound just like Jason when you said it. About the county is not, trying to give you this money. They're hoping that you don't claim it. That's one of the things that Jason says all the time. Like they're hoping that you don't find out, and like
They
as
hope. They hope.
cutthroat as that may sound, it's so real though. It's real.
Hope you don't believe it. They hope you think. They hope that you think that all of this money that they're holding is a scam. They hope you don't believe it. They hope you don't care. They hope you don't understand because they gonna continue to pad their little slush fund on what you think. And what they know is they took the property and they gonna keep this excess funds, the surplus funds too, unless you step up to the plate or the family steps up to the plate and claim this equity that the property value. I tell people the property value been going up all these years, so the value of the property is what caused this, and anything that was paid over the amount that was owed goes back to the previous homeowner. But they're not going to just walk a big check and go find people and hunt people down. No, it's much easier to just hold the money, and if you come get it, you come get it. If you don't, you don't. If you understand, you understand. If you don't understand, cool. We already got the check. We
It,
already got the
it,
money here.
im-
We don't need to worry about any of that. We already got the money.
right.
So they're hoping that you don't believe it.
Imagine how much money they are saving in interest to borrow money, right?
Mm.
Like, how the government makes bonds and all that kind of stuff. That money is
Imagine
sitting
all the
right there.
all the money that they're making off your money.
Right.
Imagine all of the money as cheated that people don't claim. This stuff getting as cheated. I'm looking at claims on a weekly basis of people that no one else could find. Me and Sultan may not be able to find them, and it's just going to be down the drain.
Mhm.
In Texas, they only hold these tax funds 2 years, and after 2 years, that's a wrap. I was able to get one woman a couple of months ago. She had about 20 something grand there. She was just sitting there taking calls and um listening to their spiel to see. And I was just called her, and I gave her my spiel. I called the daughter. The daughter gave me mom's number, and I got on the phone and said, "Mom, you get like 20 some thousand sitting here. Why you haven't claimed it?" She's like, "I don't know. And I said, "Okay, I'm sure other people are calling you saying, 50%, 45, 40, 35, 30%. Let's go 15%, and let's get this wrap." She said, "Okay, cool. I'll go with you." And it was the first phone call me and her had. But the money had been sitting there about 18, 19, 20 months. She only had about 2, 3 months left, and it was going to be gone. And thought to myself, how did I get that deal? I had no clues. By the grace of God. I'm looking for her. She waiting on me. I don't even know that she's waiting on me to call. Only her and God know, because she's taking calls from everybody. So I'm not the first person she talked to. She's been taking these calls for almost 2 years. But I spoke with the daughter. Daughter liked me. Daughter fed my number to her mom. I gave me mom's number. I called mom, and yeah, I'm just on the phone like we are now. Mom said, "I like you. It's something about you. I like you. I'm gonna go with you." And I gave her my spiel. Somebody's waiting to talk to y'all. They're waiting on your positive energy. They're waiting to connect with you, and they're waiting on your negotiation spiel on helping them get this money. Some people know about it, this money. A lot of people don't. So you have to figure out how you're going to talk to somebody and negotiate with people that know about the money. I knew people knew she knew about it. That's why I went in at 15% to go ahead and beat everybody's prices that she's already been dealing with over the last 2 years. So boom, I knew right where to go. That's the same thing I told Karen. Karen, you want to tell them about your deal with Miss Sharon on how we negotiated that one and where you started? And I said, hey, Karen, you may want to do this and send her the paperwork this, and then let's see if she come back. So you want to jump in, Karen, real
Yeah.
quick about your last deal with Miss
So
Sharon?
she foreclosed in November. And so again, when I jumped back in December, and I'm trying to find a conversation with her because Jason and I was talking about this earlier today. I was like, well, I don't think I had a phone call with her. I don't think we spoke. I think everything has been through text message. Um, and I can go back and I text her. I text her on November the 5th at like 8:39 in the morning. And I just introduced who I was and told her what I do and the address that was foreclosed on. And it was sold. Oh, so I did contact her in November. I told her it was sold on, November the 6th, blah, blah, blah. And please feel free to text or call me directly. God bless. And she texts back, good afternoon. Thanks for reaching out. I got your phone message as well. Please email me at, and she gave me her email address. Bingo. Okay. So now I can send the documents through Rabbit Sign or whatnot so she can take a look at them. So, with those like DocuSign and Rabbit Sign and things like that, they will alert you when the claimant is looking at the documents that you have sent them. So I was like, yes, ma'am. So, I'm local. I can meet you as well. Don't feel that you have to take any more phone calls. So I'm already giving her a disclaimer like, hey, don't feel like you have to continue to take these phone calls because I know it can become very overwhelming. I don't want you to get yourself confused on who you spoke with. So, I always go over that information. She said, thanks, I appreciate it. And yes, no, I said, thank you for texting me back. I was praying I had the correct Sharon. And she said, thanks, I appreciate it. And yes, it's the correct Sharon. And I said, I had been looking for her like on social media and I saw, are you the Apostle Sharon, right? And she was like, oh no, I'm a deaconess. So we get to talk and now we're talking like personal now, and we're talking about church and everything. And she literally, after that we talked and everything, she went ghost for a while. She stopped responding to my text messages. And this was like around November the 9th. And I'm just texting her and texting her. And she did not get back with me until December the 18th. And she said, hello, it's been a while, but I've had a lot going on. This is about the funds from the sale and then the address. I would like to look over the proposal again. Can you resend it? So I went back into our Rabbit Sign and I just resent it to her. I think I had it. I think Jason was right. I think I had it like at 30, 35%.
I think you
And
had 25, and then I called her and I told you to
okay.
tell, or I told her that, hey, we looked at it, or I tell Karen to say, hey, your management team looked at it and we wanted to offer it to her at 15%.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I can't really remember.
Well, you need to
Oh, here it
remember.
is, right here. She said, I'm reading it now. Will a picture work or do I need to scan or email? And she said, also, other than the 15%, do you anticipate any other deductions? Of course, you always have to go over with the claimant if there may be some liens and judgments that I can't see that may be taken out, but I will notify you once we get into our discovery. And so, other than that, we've been talking. She sent her ID, and this is the same day I got the other lady that we went door knocking on. This is the same day, same exact day. So I closed both of those out in the same day. And so, yeah, so right now we're just in the middle of her filling out the affidavit of heirship because the property was left from her deceased father. So this was a business. I'm going to assume. I looked it up. It was a business. And so yeah, and everything, honestly, I do not remember talking to her on the phone. I think everything has been through text message. Yep, text. So, that a lot of your deals are going to be like that. I've closed deals. I think Jason has closed deals where it's just a text message. That you may hop on a phone call with them, you may not. I think one of my last deals I closed, I ended up going to his home, and I only seen him one time. We talked on the phone one time, and then that was it. And I closed him out, and that was my first 5-figure deal. I think we got paid about 35,000 off of that one. So yeah, y'all, it's not hard. Don't make it harder than what it is. You just have to be determined. You really have to want it for yourself. And I'm gonna share this, and then we'll get one more other person, and then we'll let y'all go because it is getting ready to go on 9:30. This weekend we took our son down to San Antonio for the TCU and the USC game, and I was telling my husband, I said, you know what, I learned a lot from coming to this football game because I'm not even a sports fan. I don't cheer for basketball, no sports. I don't do any of that. But whatever it was, I was just really cheering for TCU. I was like, because my son loves our son loves TCU. So I'm like, I'm cheering and, trying to get him excited and hype and everything. And the game was looking real tight. Like it almost looked like USC was about to win, but TCU had came back. And I am like screaming uncontrollably. And while I'm talking to screaming at the team, I'm like, tighten it up, tighten it up. You can do this. Y'all got this. You can do this. I said, why can't we do that for ourselves? And I don't know if any of y'all watch sports or anything like that, or if you've ever just cheered someone on, just, whatever. But that's the same way we have to cheer ourselves on. So that's what I learned from that football game. It's like, the same way I cheered for that football team, they don't know me from a can of paint. They're not going to pay my phone bill. They're not going to pay my rent tomorrow. They're not going to, put gas in my car for coming down here to see them play. The same way I'm cheering for them, I have to learn how to cheer for myself. And so I'm going to tell y'all the same thing. If you are out there cheering for a team or whatever it is, cheer for yourself, just like that. You're going to see your first deal come real quick. You got to really just when you get in there, you got to get in there with a positive attitude. And you got to be determined to help these people. And if it's in your own backyard, stop at the store and get a case of water. Do something for them. I don't care if it's your last $10, $20, whatever you got on you. Do something for somebody else. You're going to see it come back tenfold. I promise you that. I'm a living witness. So we're going to take one more. Jason, do you have anything else to say, or do you want to take one more person and we're going to wrap it on up?
No, anybody that's just left in the chat. I think I may have seen I think Herb was on the call.
Okay.
If Malik want to jump in, that's fine. Miss Joyce, I think she's a new student. Miss Joyce, if you want to just jump in and chime in, maybe how y'all found us, or anything that y'all have regarding the surplus situation or business, anything that y'all want to speak about, talk about, questions, answers, anything, y'all welcome to. This is your time to speak. So we definitely want to hear from y'all and get y'all input about what's going on and how y'all doing on y'all side of town. So Malik and Joyce, Herb, y'all can definitely jump in if y'all like also.
If
You know,
nobody
we
else has anything, I'll say something. Unless Malik or Joyce want to say something.
But you
I
already
think they can give it to you right now, Herb. So go on in. How's the
Okay.
wife?
So,
How's everybody doing?
nah,
good.
it's bad. It's still bad, and my son got caught up too, so he's back home. He's back with his mom now, and they both got deported. So
Oh man.
so yeah, so I'm leaving probably tomorrow uh to go back. I'm trying to sell our house and so get that sold so we can go back. But I said, we still got to eat, still got to make some money, because the little money we're gonna get from this house ain't gonna carry us, where we need to go. So I
Exactly.
s- I said, well, I got to get this surplus business a try again because I tell you, I had a man on the line. I kid you not. I was all fired up. I was like, I called a bunch of people, got shot down. they asked me questions like, "What's your website?" I'm like, "I ain't got no website." They were like,
Hey,
"Oh no, man, it's a scam."
got our website, Herb. You got our website.
See,
LoyaltyRoyaltySecret.com.
I swear to you, it didn't even cut my mind froze when he said that. And you brought up something earlier, right? Like I said when I was on the phone, I said, "I'll tell you what, I'm kind of in the middle of traffic and I'm kind of on the phone. Let me call you right back." It didn't. I was trying to get myself together instead of me thinking like, "Man, I should just give you guys a call and tell you what's going on," because
Exactly. Let us close it for you.
right. And it was $46,000. And the son was in the background, kept saying, "Mom, that's a scam. That's a scam." And the mother was like, "Wait a minute, man, this man talking about $46,000." And he said, "Nah, Mom, that's a scam. Hang up, hang up." I said, "Look, let me do this. Let me give me a minute. Let me get out of traffic and then I'll give you a call back." Well, I got out of traffic. I honestly, I say, well, that he probably talked mom out of it, so I ain't calling that back because that seemed like a lot of in-house stuff
Hell
going on.
no. You can't let your brain trick you out of that, Herb.
It did. I swear to you, it did. And so the lady called me back.
Oh my gosh.
The lady called me back and was asking me some questions, and she was like, "So you don't have an email address?" She said, "Okay. I mean, you don't have a website?" She said, "Well, do you have anything where I can verify that you?" I was like, "Well, ma'am," I said, "Look, I'm not. This is not. I gave her some little spiel. I was freestyling it, which I never should have done in the first place. I should have not done that. I should have had my brain right, but my brain wasn't right even when I made the call. But I should have just took it back, got myself together. I could have reached out to you guys and say, "Hey, this is the lady. This is the situation. Blah 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 blah." But then the lady
Now, have you
called me
checked to
back.
see if the money still there or not, Herb? Or did you just not call her back anymore? Or is this something we can go back to now?
Well, when she called me back, she said that a couple people had already called her, like a lawyer had called her from a law firm and had called her, but she and I was talking, and so she called me back. And so she said, "I just want to hear what you were saying. I just because I know you were in traffic and I didn't want you to have an accident." So she was kind of looking out for me. So I was like, maybe I made a little connection with her or something. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
so she said, you don't have a web. She said, "I tell you what, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it, and I will, because the lawyer did call me, and my son is talking to him right now. Like my son is talking to him." I said, but not to dismiss your son or anything. It's your house, right? That got foreclosed." She said, "Yes, it's my house. It's all mine. Ain't nothing to do with him. He just my son." And I said, "Okay, well,
You had that was it.
so right." And then so I said, "Well, I tell you what, let me you know, you talk to I know what y'all gonna say. Don't beat me up too bad." I said, "I tell you what, go ahead and talk to the lawyer and I'll call you back." That's what I said.
You threw it to the wolves.
I know I should have said it, and because she said she didn't like how he was talking, because he was talking fast, and he was saying a bunch of stuff, and like they got to come in the office and sign papers, and you telling me you gonna send it to me in an email. Why I gotta go in the office? I ain't got time to do all that. I work two
Let's
jobs. I said,
call her back. Let's call her
man.
back tomorrow, Herb. Tell her you got
Mhm.
your management team and you want to have someone to explain them, provide you some questions and answers, and they can do this electronically. We'll talk to you, we'll explain it to you, we'll explain it to your son, and we'd be delighted to assist them. And we
How
showed
long
them
ago was
to go
this?
with somebody that's talking to them crazy
This was
and making
Thanksgiving.
them come to an office. Let's don't matter how long it is. Let's call them and
This,
ask.
this was after Thanksgiving, so it probably would have been around the first of the month.
Let's go. Let's
The,
go. Let's go.
the 1st of December.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's call them
Hmm.
and let's get it done because they still probably she's probably working all day and night and the
Yeah.
son can't sign the agreement for mama. So let's give her a call, text her, and let's tell her, hey, you got your management team on the line that can answer questions and concerns, and you just apologize because there's been a lot going on with your family and
Yeah.
business and holidays, things of that nature. But you'd be delighted to get some of them some assistance so she can get paid out and get what she needs to be done because she was begging and dying for you to give that deal.
That's what it
Yeah.
sounds
Her.
like.
She was begging and dying for you to close her.
Yeah.
But it's
And I did
okay.
not.
It's okay because we're new, we're learning, we get somebody on the phone, and then if somebody start talking back to you, you get nervous. And then if somebody really trying to help you put the deal in your pocket, you get even more nervous because you
Mhm.
can't even believe that it's actually happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
You just need
happens.
to
You
call
just
her
call
back and
me.
just apologize. Just apologize to her and just say, hey, just tell her,
I
We
got
can do
just
this
I
be
got
deal.
honest with her,
We
I
can
got
do
upfront
this
with
deal.
her. Yeah.
Let's call it tomorrow, Herb, about midday, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12
Three
o'clock.
way.
I
Three
will
way
call her
call.
early. I will call her early because it seems like this woman is working 12, 14-hour shifts.
right. She
So I
said
will
she worked three
call her,
jobs. So
yeah, I will call her top of the morning, 7 a.m. Call
so
and text and just say, hey, this is me. Call a couple of times because she may not know, but she may know your number because she didn't already call you back. Leave her a voicemail and tell her don't sign up with anybody and get overcharged. Let's get this done. You got a team that's been doing these type of calls and deals and claims for the last 6 to 7 years, and we want to get them taken care of. And we do this nationwide. And just apologize and tell her hopefully she haven't signed up with that attorney that was talking to her crazy, trying to make her come in because she's working and she really didn't want to
Probably
sign up
trying to
with.
do that 40%.
But
oh
and you never
yeah.
know. Sometimes these attorneys trying to charge 33 and a third percent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
hopefully she just sat on it and gonna wait until after the holidays to get it done. But let's give her a call tomorrow, Herb, because
Right.
like Herb just explained, there's somebody out there waiting for your
She
negotiation.
waiting on them. She
Somebody
waiting
out there
on them.
waiting to hear you and for you to break it down the best way you can. I'm not sure when, I'm not sure how, but it's somebody out there. I'm not sure if it's a woman or a man or a mama and son like this situation. It's somebody out there waiting for y'all, man, to pass out some money to them, help them do it, and send them the paperwork. Cause she wanted it electronically. She ain't got time to go nobody goddamn office because she working
Yeah.
3 jobs. She
Yeah.
really ain't got time to talk to nobody, but she ready to talk to her. Herb just got a little
Yeah.
nervous, and it happens. It happens. But two
Yeah, I
years
was
down the
strongly
line, Herb, after you get this first deal, you're not gonna be nervous no more.
Right.
I would strongly pray on it tonight because I think that has your name all over it, and that was meant for you. That was meant for you.
So
So
yeah, I'll
go
do that.
ahead and get it all tightened up tomorrow, and everything is cool. Just take your time. If you need Jason to be on three way with you, then have him on the phone with you.
I'll
I'll
shoot her a
let you
message.
have him for
Last
30,
I'll shoot her a
45
message.
minutes.
I'll shoot her a
That's a
message
big
and tell her
that's a
it's
big deal.
Christmas
That's a
time.
big deal. That's a big
Yeah.
deal about praying too, man. This
Yeah.
is spiritual warfare we got going on. There's so
It
much going
is.
on. Y'all, Herb, where's the family? Where are you trying to fly out to? Where's everybody getting deported and headed to? Where
My
y'all
son,
headed to?
my son and my wife, they're in the Dominican Republic.
Going to the Dominican
They
Republic.
love it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many people out here that need help. There's so much going on in life.
Yeah.
You know,
So yeah,
and
the paperwork and the money that the lawyers are talking about, I ain't got that money. So but that they can help them, and I like one lawyer said he would do it for 85,000, and I was like, $85,000 for what?
Go
what you
ahead.
said,
I'm
Herb,
muting. I'm
you
muting.
said you had contacted an attorney and they said they wanted to charge 85,000
85,000.
to do what?
They were going to get all the paperwork straight and all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah, how
and
are you gonna charge somebody $85,000 and the claim was only 40 something thousand?
no, 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 no. This is my personal. I'm talking about for my wife and my son.
He's
Oh, okay.
talking about,
You're
yeah.
talking about some. I guess you're
Paperwork.
talking about some immigration assistance is
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah, 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 yeah.
They want to charge you $85,000 for that.
They said that's what it would
Dang.
cost for two
We need
people.
to talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Boy, it's just a bunch of bullshit from USA to Dominican Republic. It's just a bunch of bullshit going on.
I had a question real quick, Herb, about did you finish off with the whole house deal? Because I'm sitting on a few $1 million over here with people that want to pay top dollar for homes. Or you just settled for like a wholesale deal or something?
Oh, it's not that much money in it. It ain't that
You
much
sure?
money in the deal. Yeah, because
Okay.
when we had the house, because you remember I live in Florida, so you had the
Uh-huh.
two hurricanes, so we had to borrow money to take care to fix the house,
Uh,
and then the house got that we fixed the house, and once we fixed the house, they had another Category 5 hurricane, and they
No.
took the house away
yeah.
again. So
Uh,
it just like so we still owe that money, and I still got to pay
yeah.
that bill. They don't care if the hurricane, and then the FEMA because of the new administration they don't pay
Mhm.
out anymore. They stop paying everybody out, and you can't get your houses insured in Florida anymore.
So
So
what?
the
Yeah.
insurance dropped everybody.
So
Okay.
what Sultan is asking, what are we looking like on the numbers, Herb? Now, like what are you owe? And then we can see what we can do on getting you a little bit more extra than what whomever may be
It's just a
speaking
done
to
deal.
right now.
I see what you're saying. Well, I think I want to say it's right at about five. It's like
Okay.
470 something, 470 something. Hmm.
Now, what you think the AVR, the property value is over there on how much what are they asking to give you?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
what are they what are
so
you
the price used to be around six something, right? But it's
okay?
crashed. It's crashed because nobody can insure. You can't insure your properties anymore. And if your house get damaged, which is going to get damaged for sure, is no more no more FEMA support and no
Okay.
more no more government, no more state government support. So basically, if
Okay.
your house get in a tornado, you got to pay for it out your pocket.
Oh shit.
So the price drop. Nobody. I mean, when I tell you like they got $1 million homes, that just people just walked away from. It's vacant.
They won't insure.
They won't insure them because it's on the water. So it's hurricane. They have hurricanes every year, hurricane season. So houses that used to be like $1 million, they selling them for $250,000.
Yeah. Drop back down.
It's
Okay.
not. They
Okay.
trying to get rid of them. They trying to give them away. They can't give them away because is I mean you can't insure them. So you got a million
Yeah.
dollars. You
No,
pay a million
a
dollars.
lot of them are just going for the land down there. They're not even going for the building. We're just kind of going
It's
for
the
the
land.
land.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's the land. It's the
They
land.
really
Okay. Okay.
if they don't go that route, Sutton, it really ain't nothing they can do because they
Yeah.
won't insure it. They want to insure the structure
It's
that you're
hard.
gonna
That's a
put
hard
up.
call.
No, I mean if you did get it insured, it'd be $2,000-3,000 a month.
Yeah. Be
Shit,
up
It,
there.
it it'd be way up there. I mean, and I thought I was like somebody said something like that to me. I was like, yeah, that's not realistic. I don't believe you. And they were like, trust me, that's what it is. I said, okay. You know,
Yeah. High risk.
it's
Yeah.
super high risk. Yeah,
I
because
wish I could help you with it, man. But yeah, now that you bring those details back into play, I remember now. And I was looking at Florida on this wholesale side. It was like, oh yeah, they're just doing it for the land now. It's barely even, you can barely deal with the house unless it's inland or somewhere where it's still
right,
in good condition.
right,
Yeah,
right. And I live on
yeah,
the water, so yeah, it
yeah.
it
Well, my
wasn't it
prayers go
wasn't
out
gonna
to
happen.
you for your family, man. That's hard, man. My wife's she's not a citizen either, and that's one of her fears is that for some BS reason they end up, taking her away. You know what I mean? And
Right,
I'm just, so I'm bracing for that. I mean, her stuff should be in order, but you never know when the law would change on this with some bull crap. So
right, right.
so
yeah,
so
my
is
prayers go out
is
to
this
you,
an ice
man.
situation? This an ice situation down there in Florida?
Oh, everywhere in
Everywhere.
Maryland, everywhere in the country. It's just if they don't care at you, they lock you up immediately. It's not even about citizen or no citizen. They just lock you up. If you speak Spanish, they lock you up. And my wife has a heavy accent. They lock you up, and then you have to figure out like for example, say ICE they picked up my youngest son, and he was born here. Oh no, sorry, he's a naturalized citizen here, and 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 I had to pay a lawyer $3,500 just to get to go over there and say, here's his paper, come outside. That's it, $3,500
Just for the lawyer to get them out.
just for the lawyer to take his birth certificate or I mean certificate of naturalization, walk in there and say, here it is, let him go. They check him out. Lawyers say $3,500 up front, and then he walk in there with the paper. I couldn't walk in there with the paper and
Oh,
say, here
they
it go.
plotted and strategized this whole thing.
Yeah, it's super
Did they
expensive.
let them go after
Yeah,
the attorney?
they did. Yeah, they let him go. They let him go. He was in there for like a week.
A ransom. They just holding ransoms, running
Yeah.
around with holding people for ransom.
Yeah, he was in there for a week, and then my oldest son was at work, and then they went into his job and they locked everybody up. They arrested everybody. And he was like, "Man, I'm a citizen." He don't have no accent whatsoever, but he was in the group and he was talking to the people right there. It was like, "Oh yeah, he's one too. Get him and lock him up." And then they shipped him out. They deported him. He was gone within 2 weeks. He was gone, and he called. He got there. He called and told. He went to my mom and told my mom he needed money to get over to where she was because he was in the capital. She was in La Romana, which is a little bit of ways away. Not that far, but it's a little ways away. And she was like, "What do you mean you here? And you in the what? Where are you? At detention center? Why?" And so she went and she got him, and He was there under deportation. It's bad. It's bad. But like I said, I was looking at this. I was looking at. I was like, man, I got to figure out something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was sitting here tonight trying to figure out something what to do. And I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then I
We
then
finna,
I saw your email, and I said,
we,
okay, that's what I need to be doing.
yeah,
That's
we
what I
finna
need
get
to be
the
doing.
deal with that young lady that called you back. We
That's
finna
what
go
I
get
need
her
to be doing.
and pray tonight that she haven't found out with anybody. Let's just pray
Yes,
about her.
yes,
We got
yes.
to start there first because we got spiritual warfare that's going on. And this is a spiritual business, man, because you're connecting with people, you're connecting on people frequencies, and the only thing they can do is hear, touch, and see us sometime. We hugged the lady when we went over there, when she had to bury her little sister, you know. It's just a spiritual situation, and you have to, give some time to God, whatever God you pray to, and just go out and just try to help people. That's it. That's just try to help people. That's all we got in this life, man. Just to love each other, help people. And in this business, you can make a lot of money just helping people and just reaching out and calling and talking to people.
I just had
And
one quick question. Oh,
I'm
I'm sorry.
praying
Go ahead.
she'll be there for you tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I got one more question real quick. I know it's time to go. You those
We got out.
that lady that I had, Miss Butler, she called me and she told me that she was working with a lawyer, and the lawyer found the houses that was under her father's name. I don't understand that because remember you guys looked at it and you said there was nothing under his name.
Yeah, we couldn't. I think that's the one you said you done a forward request on, and the county said they didn't have anything.
Yeah, they didn't have anything. I mean, they had, but when I looked it up online, there were addresses under his name, but they were saying that they wasn't sure it was the same person. It was the same name and the same address that she gave me, but they were saying that wasn't him. That there was another a lawyer who was the, what do you call it when the lawyer is take over, is responsible for that person, because he was in a nursing home.
I guess they call it attorney ad litem.
Okay,
Is
so
what they call it.
okay, maybe
It's
that's what it was,
what
and
the
so
state is what the state passes over to somebody if he was at a nursing home and then you pass away. Yeah, so it's called an attorney ad litem. But
but
we
then
couldn't find anything, and then you said you done a FOIA request, and the county said they didn't have anything. So I'm
right.
not sure what the hell the money was.
Yeah, because she's telling me that the lawyer is telling her, that the lawyer charged her 40%, like you said, and that's a lot because of the property. She was saying because you got multiple properties. But the lawyer charge, I was trying to explain to her, if he said 40%, that's 40% per property. That ain't 40% period. And she was like, wait a minute, that ripping me off. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about because we couldn't find it. So I was just kind of throwing that out there. Is there something else that you think I could do?
Well, we couldn't find those properties and where the money was. That's the
Okay.
first thing. You called the county, and the county saying they didn't, and we were looking, and the county was saying they didn't have any funds. And I think
Hmm.
these were tax sales.
Yeah.
So where does the money go? Is it
Hmm.
with the comptroller? So I would have her ask the attorney who's holding these funds.
Okay. Okay.
Because if it's a tax sale, usually the local county holds these funds regarding the tax sale. It goes to
Okay.
the local county wherever his properties were.
Okay.
And if you contacted the county and they saying we don't have anything, we contacted the county and they saying we don't have anything up on this person, where is the money for these damn properties?
Right.
That's
Because
the
I mean,
situation
the
that we ran
sister
into.
has a copy of the deed to the property, so the man had the properties in his name. So
Yeah, but
that was the weirdest thing. That's the weird part. And I was thinking like, well, but how do how do these lawyers know where the money is?
well,
You know what I'm
that's the
saying?
first time I ran into this situation because usually taxes, the county holds the money for taxes.
Yeah.
It could be like that, but we're just trying to figure out where's the money at.
Okay. All right.
And was the county telling the truth?
Mm.
And,
Oh,
that's the situation. That's why you like to have these lists to get a list so you can actually see
where
what
the
they're
money
holding.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
if you don't
got
have a list, we're not sure if the county is holding. We're not sure if they went ahead and gave it to the comptroller. And
you.
now the only thing that we can do is have her say, "Okay, we'll charge you a lower amount and start back over from scratch again."
I'm gonna
Say,
see if
"Okay,
she got any paperwork from the
if
lady
they,
and see
yeah,
if
if
that.
they have the attorney charge you 40%, go ahead
Yeah.
and call the attorney and say you no longer want their services anymore because you feel you're getting overcharged, and you would try to do it with your family, and we can type up a letter of termination or something for the attorney for
Mm,
her and have her
okay.
sign on it and send it to the attorney. But we need to figure out where this damn money is
Okay.
because all these counties and states are different, man, and you're going into their slush fund, and some of these counties and states aren't as friendly on providing you this information on getting into their slush fund money.
Okay.
So if this attorney charging them 40%, we need to figure out what his money is, man.
Right.
And
Okay.
it seems
All right.
like they may not be providing us some accurate information because there's only a couple of places this money can go, and that's with the county and the comptroller.
Hmm. Okay.
And if dad was in a nursing home,
Yeah, he was in nursing home.
we need to contact this other attorney to whoever, whatever attorney that usually these counties conduct these foreclosure sales. So whoever the trustee is regarding these particular property sales for the county, they got to know something regarding that sale. You just got to follow the money from the sale. If the county said this man owes some properties, okay, we got some deeds. We need to see what he sold at, and we need to do the surplus funds regarding these particular deeds that were sold at the tax auction. So let's just start back over from scratch again. Because if
And start
somebody
doing
charging us
research.
40%, shit, there's something somewhere. And we're going to have
Right.
to do a better job on finding where. And it seems it's with the county because y'all the ones that done the damn sale.
Right. Yeah.
Point
Okay.
blank.
Okay. Appreciate it.
So
Thank
maybe
you so
this
much.
county of Maryland just not one of the friendliest, nicest on working with people and providing them accurate information because if the attorney trying to charge them 40%, they trying to hit them over the head and overcharge them too. So just tell them, let's go ahead and fire the attorney. Let's get the paperwork that they got and call them and email the attorney and tell them their services are terminated and they're no longer needed because they're getting overcharged and taken advantage of. And then we'll type up some attorney paperwork for the family to help them out on mailing them or emailing them a letter of termination, for their services that are no longer needed. So let's help her out and start over again and get all these
Okay.
properties. So if she got all these deeds and stuff, let's just start over and get all the information from them and start from scratch and go back
Right.
to this damn county because of somebody lying.
Got you. Appreciate it. And what's this is what's the name? Is Trinavius?
Who is
Trinavia?
that?
Who is that a name? Somebody on the chat?
Yeah, that's what Trinavious.
Trinavia. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. I see what he's saying.
Oh, okay, in the chat.
Yeah, he wrote something about the
Yeah, I think
attorney
that's somebody
account.
else that put that in the chat, but yeah, I see. Yeah,
Let me go to the chat. I hadn't even been in there. Let me go to the chat and see
I
what
ad litem. They was he
the
put
county
a
is.
definition.
The client and the county is paying for the attorney. That is the term used for the attorney now hired by the client. The county feels their due diligence is satisfied by paying to having the search at their expense, not hired by the client. My mistake on the sentence above. No, that's is Miss King. So
Oh, Miss
I'm
King. Okay. Thank you, Miss King.
yeah. So I'm kind of confused on what they're stating regarding that situation. But I would start right there on contacting the daughter again and just start from square one.
Okay. No problem. No
And
problem.
anytime there's somebody in a nursing home, everybody that goes in a nursing home has somebody like the nursing home has attorneys. Now at the county, they call them attorney ad litems that
Yeah.
handle people estates. In nursing homes, they may have a different term for them, but I'd say attorneys because somebody got to turn over these elderly people and handle their bookkeeping and stuff. So they're all attorneys. And ad litem is what they call them down here.
Yeah, that's
in
what she
Texas.
said. That's what she put in the chat ad litem, and was
Yeah,
talking about
so
the county paid for it. So that's probably why. So they can justify their due diligence to say they did what they supposed to do.
I don't know about all of that. I just know if they
Okay.
done what they supposed to do, they would just give people their money back.
Well, yeah,
You
that's true.
know, if
Yeah, yeah,
attorneys were doing what they supposed to do, they wouldn't be trying to charge this woman 40%.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we got to do what we supposed to do, and just I would just start from square one, get all those deed and document information. Let's get back with her, fire the attorney, and start from square one and track this money down.
Okay. All right, I could do that too. So
And
I got two
and that
jobs.
goes for the same the lady that you're gonna call tomorrow. That goes
Yeah.
for her too. Find out if she's already signed up with an attorney, and then find out what percentage they're charging her if she is signed up with somebody. And you can always
Okay.
go in for the win, do the same thing Jason just said. Have them fire that attorney or whatnot, and have them sign up under you under a smaller percentage.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we had
Okay.
fired,
Perfect.
got an attorney, and moving too slow, and then we hired him, and then he said, 2 months later, he said, "You know what? I want a retainer." And I had to tell my other business partner, I said, "We finna fire this trick. He don't know what the hell. Nah, you don't get to just talk to us crazy." So we had to fire attorney and get somebody else, and the other attorney was much cheaper and much more reasonable. So sometimes you got to fire these people and put these people in their place. So if these people found some money and they charging 40%, it must be some money because they want 40% of it, and that's almost half. So he getting fired tomorrow. I'm so glad she ain't got paid. See, sometimes you just got to sit back and let the dust settle, and then these snakes and wolves will come out, and
Mm,
then they'll reveal and show their hand. So I'm glad you jumped on this herb and chimed in with us, because now we sat back. We like, man, we couldn't find nothing. The county
Right.
saying they don't know this dude. They ain't got no money for this dude. You done a FOIA request. They saying we don't know nothing. We don't see nothing. Then you
Yeah.
sit back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months later, now the damn wolves coming out the woodwork tell you know what? Shit, your daddy did have some properties 40%.
mm,
Exactly. And then I know he wasn't. These other companies was calling, right? Because we
Right.
weren't the company
Yeah.
that other people was contacting. They still ain't got paid.
Right.
Something going on.
Right.
It's one of them states out there in Maryland. There's big money out there. I'm sure some, you know, nice properties, property value going up, nice lakes and stuff that these properties are by. Property value skyrocketing, people catching on to this surplus game, and the money like, dang, these counties like, damn, these people are caught on. We've been stealing these people property and equity and for years. Now
mm.
people helping people. And
Yeah.
then a lot of these people out here are colored, no offense to nobody. They're melanated. So you know they ain't trying to help us. Here you go. The attorney's wolves at the door calling. Yeah, come to my office, 40%.
Oh no,
Hold
I
on.
don't know what. Bring me that money.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me that money. Yeah. So we finna go here and then get with that ad litem, because somebody done the accounting on these sales. And we just
Right.
need to for the money. So let's start over. And I think this is a case where dad had at least like 2, 3, 4, 5 properties, right, Herb?
Uh, It's 10.
Oh
Mm.
shit, it's a whole bunch of money somewhere.
He had 10, and all of them went to tax sale because
Yeah, it's a whole bunch
when he
of
went
money.
to the
Count that
nursing
out, a
home.
whole bunch of money.
Right, when he went to the nursing, and he had it in like Annapolis, which is Annapolis, Maryland, and
Yeah.
PG County, which is like probably the two richest counties in the state. And then
How
and then
was it tax sale? How long does Maryland hold tax sale money before it's cheated? Let me look.
let me see, what was that? It's some time, but then they got a grace period after that, and then you can see. I
Well,
gotta
it's a
get
it's a time frame to redeem the property.
to redeem the property.
Yeah, to buy the property back.
Right, and
Let me type it in Google and let's see.
yeah, let's do that.
Long as it's
How
not
long
like
is it?
Michigan.
Maryland law generally allows 7 years for a
7
personal
years,
claim.
right? That's what I thought. 7 years. Yeah.
Oh, that's why the county saying we don't know him.
7 years, yeah. I thought it
Oh,
was 7 years, but then it's like that time that sort of I think it's like 2 or 3 years for them to get the property back, and then it's 7 years for the surplus funds after it's done or whatever it is. It's a long time. Let's put it like that. And so,
oh,
but and
that's
then they
beautiful.
said after it's done and after it's been escheated, you can go back and petition, and if the court say that if you can prove that the county didn't do their job or didn't contact the person, then they still have
Hey,
to
this,
give.
this is gonna be a huge deal for us, Herb. I'm not sure, but it seemed like he had all these properties in this rich part of town.
Oh yeah,
This is gonna
yeah,
be a huge deal for us. So we already got this deal signed up. Let's just call her and tell her to tell the attorney that he or she is fired, and we're gonna pick up the slack to try to do this and help her and the family out where they're not getting charged 40%. Because I think we already got her signed up.
yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll go find that agreement paperwork again and get started on it. Now, was this one where she had a bunch of more siblings, or
She had
was she all?
yeah, she had a bunch of more siblings, but it was only her and the brother. And the brother is she is um
Her
she
and the
is
brother
the
on the deed, or what? Because you can.
no.
How would
Her and the
you her
brother
and the brother?
was the heirs.
Okay, so the
Right.
daddy only had two kids.
No. He had more than
What?
two kids, but those are the two kids that was on there because I think something about the other kids was, questionable or something or whatever. And but when on the list of names when I did the research or whatever the trace, only those two people came up.
Okay, so Papa was a Rolling Stone, is what we saying.
Basically, yeah, because they all had different names and different bombers, and it was like, yeah, I don't know all the
Okay, I
paper.
get it. Yeah, I
But
understand. Yeah,
these are
daddy
the
probably.
only two, right? These are the only two that had his name under him, and
Yeah, daddy got more than two kids.
oh yeah,
Okay.
daddy had a bunch of kids. They had a bunch of
Daddy got more
Y'all stupid.
daddy had a
Okay.
bunch of kids.
Daddy got
Yeah,
more than two kids. Okay. I
yeah,
got you. Yeah. Let's get this going. I think both of the people signed up, but we'll
yeah.
find that paperwork. But let's give her a call tomorrow. Tell her call and text the attorney and tell he or she that they're fired. Their services are no longer wanted because they're getting overcharged and they're going to do the claim process themselves.
I'll
With
take
and we'll go from there on that one. And then call your other lady back that's been trying to help make you close the deal with her for the last 2 months. And let's
it.
get these first two deals wrapped up and closed up for you, Herb. Let's start out 2026 with a bang.
Yeah, yep. And Annapolis is Anne Arundel County. Yep,
Yeah, this seems like this is going to be a good county for us.
Anne Arundel
Anybody?
County is big money. That
Yeah,
that's
anybody
money.
else? Anybody else? Who else we got on here? Ashley, Joyce. Anybody else want to jump in? Did Malik jump in already?
No, he didn't jump in the jump rope yet.
Trevania. Anybody else y'all want to jump in before we get up out of here? I think Miss Joyce, we spoke to Miss Joyce a couple of times. You had a lot to say, Miss Joyce, on those phone calls. Don't come into the room here on the Zoom call and be so shy and not say anything.
I think we only got enough time for hi and just something brief because it's going on
Yeah,
till
I'm just trying to give somebody some time. But if nobody will speak, I guess we will
I guess we
close it.
will wrap
Hang on
it on up. So I just want to reiterate anyone that is new on this because we are doing this for our YouTube channel as well. If you are new to this surplus funds business, right now we are getting you signed up at $300. Our course is $3,000, but to sign up, and this is only going to be good until January. Is January? Yeah, January the 15th. So this offer is only January the 15th. 2026, okay? Because I know a lot of people get on here and they look at old videos and they're like, "Are y'all still offering that free this and free?" No, we're not offering it. So this is till now to January the 15th, $300 to get started. Okay. Our course is $3,000, but we're only going to allow you to go ahead and make a down payment of 10%, which is only $300. If you don't have it, get it. You got it. You have it. So this is going to be the time for 2026 where you're going to invest in yourself. That is the most important thing because once you close your first deal, that $300 you're gonna get that right back times 10, times 10. So other than that, if that is it for tonight, y'all, thank you so much for jumping on. We're gonna get back at doing this again, dropping some more content on YouTube and doing our Zoom calls. You know how to get in contact with us. Reach out to us via email if you have our phone number. Um, text us first, and then call. Then someone will reach back out to you. But I think that is it, Jason. Anything else? Good night, everyone. Is that it? Did I forget anything? No? All right.
Yeah, if nobody's saying anything, we jump in.
Good
We
night.
until next time. Good night, y'all.